Okay, so we'll talk about functions. Okay, now we have briefly used the functions, right? We have used
Yeah.
function, but we don't know how to write. We'll see how to write our own function. So, for example, in set and in list we use append, right? Or print, for example.
Yeah.
So when you call a print function, okay, it
Yeah.
performs some set of code. That means there is a set of code which is written before, okay, and by calling it, okay, those set of code is called. And very similar to the way we are given names, right? Let's say if we didn't have our own names, it would have been
Mhm.
very difficult. We would have to, explain someone, right? So, so same thing what we have, I mean, in simple word, function is nothing but that name that we give to few blocks of code, few lines of code, right?
Okay.
So let's say I say print, how are you? Print, what's your name? Print, okay. Um, where are you going? Let's see. Now, these are three lines of code, right? And of course,
Yeah.
when I run it, you get these three values. Now, I want to use these three lines of code multiple places. Okay. Now, see,
Okay.
if I have to meet you just once, I don't need to know your name, right? We just meet, say
Yeah.
hi, hello, and you don't remember me, I don't remember you. Okay. So, first time
Okay.
when you want to use it, you copy paste these three lines of code, your work is done, you move on. But let's say if I have to use it
So,
again and again, if we are able to meet again and again, then we need to know the
mhm.
name, right? So,
Yeah.
I have to use these three lines of code again and again. So what I'll do, I'll simply give a name. So how do you give a name? You say def, okay, and a name, right? So def is like definition. You're defining it, okay. So
Okay.
def, a name could be my statements or whatever, anything, followed by simple open and close bracket. Okay, def is the keyword followed by a name that you want to give. You can give your own name, right? Print has given print. Of course, you cannot use the name which is already being used. You can give your own name here. So my statements, and followed by bracket open and close, and then you give colon here. So def, my statement is that function name, followed by O bracket open and close. This is mandatory. Okay, simple bracket open and close to indicate it's a function. Then you put colon here. Okay,
Okay.
and then these three lines of code you give tab. Okay, that means these three lines of code are inside this.
Part of,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. Part of the def function. Okay, so this
Okay.
is defining, this is naming, giving a name. Now, when you give name, nobody is calling you, saying, okay, these three lines of code from today onwards, your name is my statements. Okay, something like that. So when you, obviously, when you call it, nothing will happen. Okay, defining will
Mhm.
not call it. Okay, so when I run this file, okay, the first line that will be called is line number 7. The first line that will be called is line number 7. Okay, 2 to 5 is not called until we call it, right? I mean, you are walking, you are sleeping, you are eating, whatever. You will respond to me only when I call your name, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I call your name, then you will turn towards me and talk to me or say hi. So here I have to call it for it to work. Okay. Just like print bracket open and close. So my statement bracket open and close. Now when you run it, so this is so when you call it specifically, you have to call it, okay, for it to work.
Okay.
Otherwise, everything will be called, right? Input, print, so many functions are there. All those are defined, but those are called when we call them. So here I'm calling them. So these three lines of code is called. So the first line to be called here is line number 7. Hello. Okay. Second line to be called is line number 8. And 8 is not completed. Okay, 8 is just starting and it calls 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay,
Okay.
and when 5 is done, it comes back to 8 to complete it. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 7, 8, and 8 itself is extension to 2, 3, 4, 5, and then comes back to 8. And then if we had statement in 9, it will go to 9.
Okay, yeah, got
This
it.
is important to know because until function is complete, this line number 8 is not complete. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So it's like, line number 8 is incomplete till all the function is entirely, is executed. Once executed, then it comes to line number 8. And of course, then it goes
Okay.
to line number 9.
So we
Okay.
did not print my statement, then how come just by typing my statement it
No, no,
printed?
I'm calling here, right?
Okay.
So I'm calling Nimesh. Now you will turn back, right? So,
Mm-hmm.
so this Nimesh has all these things. Nimesh means this,
Okay.
right? So function calling itself will execute the function. Calling the function means executing it. You're defining it, you're executing it. First, you have to give the name. The name has to be done before. Okay. So
Okay.
when I say my statement, it will go and look before, above. It will
Mm-hmm.
never look below. So if I had put my statement in line number 1 and definition in line number 2, again it would have given us error saying not defined. My statement is not defined.
Okay.
Okay. I can't call you before you are named, right?
Yeah,
So
right.
first you have to name it. Only then, okay, it has to be below that because it always goes and checks up. Okay, it will
Okay.
not go and check below.
Okay. Okay. Got it.
Okay. Okay. So this is one aspect. Um, uh, okay. So now as you said, right, it is calling itself will execute the line of code, whatever you have. Okay. It will simply like executing whatever is there inside this function. Okay. This
Yeah.
is your simple function definition. Very simple, isn't it?
Okay.
Def, name, and the block of code. Okay.
Yeah.
So now let's, I want to add two numbers, let's say. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to say, I'm going to define here def my add, my addition, whatever. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm going to say here n1 equal to input. Okay. And I'll say int of input and n2 equal to say 50. Okay. I have 50 here. Sum equal to n1 plus n2. Okay. And I'm going to say print some addition of two numbers is sum, right? So again, this will not get called until we call it, right? So now I'm going to say my addition. Okay. Now when I call my addition, okay, now you see, okay, it is waiting for me to enter the value for here. Okay, I say 4. So you get 54. Let me put a text here. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So, I have outsourced addition of numbers to function called myAddition. So whenever you have to add two numbers, okay, you're calling this function. Now you see, okay, there are situations where, okay, this value that num1 you have already got from somewhere. Okay. You don't want to read it again. Okay. You have already got this value. For example, when you register for event, okay, your name, they already have it, right? You register on a website, right? Let's say you are planning to take some course on Coursera or NPTEL. Okay.
Okay.
So you have already registered. Now, when you register for a course, it will not ask you what's your name again. It
Okay.
should be able to pick it from your account,
Yeah.
isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
So the name is okay. So name is already there, but let's say the course, of course, is different, right? How will it be able to get the name? It should not ask you enter your name again. So let's say in the main program, you already have number one equal to 50. If you already have
Hmm.
number one equal to 50, let me do it in a different way. Or let's say 5. Okay. Now I want to add this 5 to my addition. Okay.
Okay.
I want to add 5 to my addition. I don't want function to ask me again. See, when I run it, it is asking me again to enter a number. But I already have
Okay.
this number from somewhere. I got this number. I want to add it. So what
Mhm.
I'll do is, okay, in this case, I will say I'll put it name as say 2 because 1 is here and this is 2. My addition 2, okay, please take n1, okay, and n1 is given to you. N1 is given to you. You do not take N1 by yourself. Okay. So I need to pass N1.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, same example, if you see here, input. Earlier, we did input without passing any text. When we did not pass any text, it did not print anything here. But
Yeah.
now when I'm passing the text here, okay, it will print this. Please enter 1 to add. So this is the parameter that we are passing to input. Okay, so this is how function will read a parameter n1. Okay, and I have to give the value. Okay, I'm calling my addition 2 and I'm saying num1. So, okay, this is function definition. This is where it is expecting one value n1 and we are giving n1 here. So n1 is 5, so 5 is going here, and now when you run it, it's going to be 55. Okay, it is asking the first one, right? So let's say 4, 54, and this is 55. Because we have already given 5 here. You make it 15, it will take 15 and it will add 15 to 50. So did you understand the argument? These are called arguments. Okay, we are passing argument, accepting arguments, and number one is the argument we are passing to the function. So num1, here we are saying addition n1 and we are saying addition num1. So num1 will go to n1. So n1 becomes num1 value. So here when I say n1, it knows n1 is coming from what user is giving us from here. And
So it was
num1,
fast actually for me.
sorry, fast for
It
you.
was too fast for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll pause a second, you think, and then we'll continue.
Okay. Sir, can you please just take the tab up because
Tab up means
like I want to see what you have written up.
okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
int we are putting integer here. That's why you did int. Uh, n1 is equal to uh,
Sorry, can you repeat it again, please?
Sir, this int means we are adding integer. That's why we have used this function, right?
Yeah. See,
Int.
this whenever you see this simple bracket, right? This is a function, right? We're converting into integers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got it. I got it, sir.
Got it? Yeah.
And what is this in last my addition to? Okay,
Tell
yeah,
me.
num1. So where is num1 here? We don't. Num1 is the argument we are passing.
And while catching, it can have any number. It can have any name. The names
Okay.
did not
So
match.
now the new. Okay, num1 is here. Okay, got it.
Okay. So now one has become N1 in my addition to.
Okay, because first we added n1. And now we'll add num1. So num1 will take n1 also, and
See, we are passing N num1 and you are storing at N2, N1.
yeah.
See, this is being passed here, right? So you are passing num1 and it is storing as N1.
Okay.
When
Yeah.
I say something, okay, okay, let's say your language is Marathi, my language is Hindi. If I say something in Hindi, you are converting into your language Marathi and storing it in your mind, isn't it?
Okay.
Because this is me and this is you. So I
Mhm.
can say in whatever I like to say, and you will store it, save it the way you want to store it. So, that way,
Okay.
N1 is what I'm passing, and you are saying, okay, you are giving me N1, I'll save this N1 as N1. Sorry. You're giving me num1, and I will save it as N1. So
Okay.
when you are using it N1 only.
Okay. So now when we do addition to n1 will also get added to this number,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Where is it?
Okay.
Where are we adding N1 to num1? Where do you see N1
No,
plus?
because no, that we'll do now, right?
No, no. Why
So,
will we do now?
mm, oh, okay, sir. Got it, sir. Now,
Num1 is N1 in my addition to.
so my addition to is, sir, my addition to
Is a function.
function, yeah.
Function definition.
And we are adding num1 in that.
Where are we adding num1 in that? Which line are we adding num1?
Sir, sir, in 25,
25. Is it inside or outside of my addition to?
that is inside.
Is it inside?
Sorry, outside.
Yes, I'm
Outside,
calling there. I'm calling the function from there.
yeah. Okay. So we are calling num1 in this my addition to.
See, you can
So
only
two.
call function. Num1 is not a function. My addition to is a function. You can call only function, right?
Okay.
In line of 25, I'm calling my addition to function.
Yeah.
And then I'm saying, okay, my addition to take num1 to you with you. I'm calling you with num1. You're going with a sweet packet. So you're calling my addition to with something, num1.
Okay. Got it.
So you're calling my addition to, saying my addition to, I'm calling you and take this num1, take this. My addition 2 says, okay, and number 20 says, okay, thank you for calling me. Okay, I will take num1 and I will take it as n1. So num1, which you are passing, is being taken it as n1 in the function line number 20.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So, okay. So num1 is done. And okay. Now you can pass any number of values here. I can say num1 and you can write num1 comma num2 comma num3 equal to 15, 20, 25. Okay. And I'll say my addition to num1 comma num2 comma num3. Okay. It has to, you're passing 3, right? It has to take 3, otherwise it'll give you error. Okay. It will say my addition takes one positional argument, but 3 were given. My addition 2 takes only one argument, but we gave 3. Not possible. You know, you have only one bag. I can't give you 3 things. You to have. No, it will work. Okay. So what is value of n1? Value of n1 is same as num1. Value of n2 is num2. Now see here. There are 2 keywords here. Positional argument. Okay. So positional and required. Okay. So what you see here above, there are 2 important things. Positional and required. Why required? Because earlier I for passing 3 and I was reading only 2. Give error saying you're giving me 3, but I'm only using 1. I can't use it. So you have to give me equal number of arguments. Yes,
Okay.
that is called
Yeah.
required. Okay, because the function definition, okay, the number of variables that function definition takes is only same number of variables you can pass. You can't pass more or you can't pass less. That
Okay.
is required. Positional is left to right mapping. N1 will take num1, N2 will take num2, N3 will take num3. Okay, if I make this as N3 and if I make this as N2, now N2 will take num3 and N3 will take num2. It is always left to right mapping. 2 things you
Okay.
have to remember. Required, that required means same number of arguments.
Okay.
Okay. Then second thing is that it has to be in same order, left to right order.
Okay.
Okay. This is, okay, so we're talking about
Yeah.
function with arguments. And in function with arguments, earlier we did not have any arguments, right? The first one, we did not take any argument. Fine. Okay. Not always you have to pass any argument. Now we're talking about function with arguments. A function with arguments
Yeah.
will have positional and required. That means it will take the value in the same order, left to right order, and what? Every variable, every argument should have a value, not more, not less. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this is first type
Sir,
of
I have a
function.
question.
Yes.
Sir, why are we typing N1, N2, and N3 instead of we should have written num1, num2, num3?
There is nothing we should have.
How is it?
Why your name is Nimesh? Why can't it be something else? No, you decided to put Nimesh. It's your name. If your name is Nimesh, I have to call you Nimesh only, right? Can I ask you why I can't call Nimesh? Why can't you have something else? Can I say that?
No.
No. It is
But
no. See, it is up to the developer what they want to do it.
okay.
How can you question that? Why do you want to keep it like that? It's a name, variable name, function name. It's a name. A name you cannot question why the name is like this. You have to work with the name.
Yeah. Sir, but we named already num1, num2, num3,
That's what
right?
I'm saying. Okay, that's what I'm saying. Now, if you go to Canada, they don't use Indian names. So they'll say, no, we have John, Jack, and Jill. Why don't you take any of these names?
Mm-hmm.
It's your name,
So I'm asking that
You could have been John also. See, that's what I'm saying. You understand what I'm trying to say. Name can be different. You can be John also. I mean, why not? You can be John also, right? But
yeah.
your name is Nimesh, so let it be. If it is N1, let it be N1. Why can you question it why it is N1? It doesn't matter what your name is. Okay? It doesn't matter. You will take the
So
value from left to right. It can be XYZ ABC. Okay.
Sir,
The leftmost will take the leftmost value. Whatever variable you have here will take whatever variable is here.
sir, my question was that, uh, like num one and num1 is 15, right? So how come if we write n1, it will take 15? That was my question.
That's what I'm saying. It will match left to right. Order is important. Left to
Okay,
right.
okay, okay. No matter what.
No matter what the
Uh,
name is, doesn't matter.
okay.
Okay.
But I can
N1,
write A1, A2, A3 also, but to
exactly. I told you
take
A, B, C,
15,
X, Y,
20.
Z. Okay. Doesn't matter. What matters is position.
Okay.
That's why I call it positional. Position is important. Whatever
Yeah.
you write here will take whatever you have here.
Okay.
Left first. Whatever
Uh,
you have here will take whatever you have here,
got it, sir.
right? So it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what name is, it just matter what value you are giving to it. Okay. And the value assignment
Okay.
happens from left to right, positional,
Okay, sir.
correct? So it doesn't matter what the name is in function definition, because function definition, now how do you know what variable they have it in print? Do you know? Print is predefined input function. Do you know what variables they are using there? In what arguments they're using there?
No.
You don't need to know.
Yeah.
You just care about, I am saying hello, is it printing hello or not?
Yeah. Right.
Why should you know what variable they are using, what name they are using? You don't need to know,
Yes, sir.
right? Yes. Okay. So two things I told you. Number of variables should be same. Okay. If you
Yeah.
have three variables here, they also have to have three variables. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Now here, and the order has to be left to right. So num1 will take num1 will go to n1, num2 will go to n2, num3 will go to, or in this case, sorry, num2 will go to n3 and num3 will go to n2.
Into.
Finish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Finish. That's it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Now there are situations where you can have some default values. Okay. So it's a okay. For example, okay, you take input. Input can take both zero, no arguments, and one argument. How it can take no argument or one argument, right? Because if you give the input which is defined as a function, okay, has to be defined with either with one argument or no argument. If there is no argument, then if you pass one argument here, it should have given error, right? So we have something called as default, positional and default. So second type of function we'll talk about is positional, positional and default. What it says, I'm going to take the same example. Okay. And here I'll say n3 equal to 0, n2 equal to 0. Okay. So I'm saying n1. Okay. So now if you see here, n1 is mandatory. Okay. You have to
Okay.
pass one value, but n3 is default. That means if you have, again, see, I said positional. So n1 will take num1, n3 will take num2, and there's nothing for n2. If there's nothing for something, it will take the default that we gave here.
Okay.
Okay. So, okay. Now, if you do not put equal to there in the where function definition, if you don't put equal to the one that we did here, we did not put equal to here when you're
Yeah.
defining the function. That means you need to get exactly three variables. You want exactly three, not more, not less. All three are compulsory. All three are required.
Okay.
Now, if you come here to this example, we are saying that, okay, I need compulsory one variable. I need at least one. That's why I did not say n1 equal to, right? I need at least one, okay? But if you give me two or three also, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
You
So,
give me 2 or 3 also fine, but I need one compulsory. If you give me, I will take what you give me. If you don't give me, I will take the default value, which I have given as 0, 0 here. If we give it, it will take what we give. If we don't give it, it will take the default one.
so here N1 it will take from above, like I guess it was 15.
N1 will take num1, whatever it is, not from above. This is what we are passing, right? So if you have 15 there, it will be 15, yes. 15 will go to N1.
Okay,
And
and
num2 is
N3 will
20,
be
20.
N2 will
So
be,
num2 is 20. So N3 will be 20.
okay,
And we
but
have
we
not.
have written 0, right, sir?
Array, you're not hearing me what I'm saying, Nimesh. You focus on me. Are you writing something? Are you coding?
No, no,
No,
I'm not.
listen to me. What did I say? If you give me, I will take what you give me. If you don't give me, I will take the default value.
Okay.
So if we give it, it will take what we give it. If we don't give it, it will take the default value that it has.
Okay.
Okay. So if you give it, it will take it. I'm giving num2, so it is taking num2. Okay. If we don't
Mm-hmm.
give it, it will take what it has default. So that's called
Okay.
default value. Okay. Default value means when you don't give it, it will take what you are giving as default. But if you give it,
Okay.
then it will take what you give it. Okay. Then it will ignore the default that we have given it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So default means first thing is that default as a user, you can't do it. If you're using a function, you can't do it. Okay. Like I can't make something default in print or input or len or anything like that. Okay. Developer of the function can do it. So when you are writing your own function, you can
Mm-hmm.
decide to make something as default. Let's say you have a company and 90% of employees, okay, sit in say University Pune, and 10% are salespeople can be hired anywhere in the world,
Mm-hmm.
right? Since 90% employees are sitting in Pune, right? And if you are having a system where you want to store the information of all the information of your employees, you can put default city as Pune.
Okay.
Because anyway, 90% of the time it will be Pune, right? You're hiring, or okay, all the teams are in Pune, but only the sales team is across the world.
Yeah.
So when you're hiring someone, by default, if you do not put location, it will take Pune, it will add location as Pune. But if you give something else, let's say you're giving New York, then it will take New York only.
Okay.
Okay. So, if 90% time if you are using this, then why do you want to force someone to type Pune, Pune again and again? Right? So in that
Mm.
case, you can say default value is Pune. So if it is not Pune, then you give. If you don't give, it is Pune.
Okay. Got it.
Okay. And this is done only by the developer of function. When you write your own function, you can make something as default. As a user, somebody who's using like print we are using, input we are using, but my
Mm-hmm.
edition we are developing, right?
Okay.
So when you're developing something, you can make something as default, not as a programmer. Okay, you can't change it. Okay. Now you tell me, can I make this N1, N3, N2? Can I give something like this? We can't. Answer is we can't. Why we
Okay.
can't?
Why, sir?
Yes. Why we can't? We can't because N2 is mandatory, required, and positional. N2 is we are not giving equal to, correct? So it is required positional. So to give N2, I have to give 3 values because N2 will take third value. Yes or no? N2
Yeah.
is third in that list, correct?
Third.
In the
Yeah.
argument. So it is third one. So it will take the third value from the calling function. Yes. Now, if it is taking third value from the calling function, that means you have to give 1, you have to give 2, then only you can give 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have to give second one, N3 will get the value. then what's the point of making N3 as default? There's no point N3 making default. Understood the logic? Okay. Now what I'm telling you is, I'm like, okay, so let's say I'm telling you, I give you question paper. I say, okay, this question paper has 3 questions, and you have to answer third question. You
Okay.
can choose to ignore 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, you can choose to ignore 1 and 2, but you have to write third question,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
then I give you one more thing. Okay, you can't answer third question without answering 1 and 2,
Okay.
because I have made N2 as mandatory, right? N2
Yeah.
will take the third value. How will you get the third value if you don't do 1 and 2? You can't say this first number is my third number. You can't say it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to attempt the third question, and you can't attempt third question without attempting 1 and 2, because here N3 N2 is mandatory, third value, right? I can't give third value without writing 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So what's the point of making something as default? What's the point of saying 1 and 2 is optional? Doesn't make any sense.
Yes. Means 1 and 2 is also compulsory.
Compulsory, it becomes, because N3 is compulsory, N2 is compulsory, and N2 is a third variable, right? So you have to give, 3 values here. If you have to give 3 values, N3 will take this. What's the point of making N2 as default? So, okay, when you have combination of required and default both, left side you have to put all the required one. Now N2 I put here, this will work fine. This will work fine. This will work fine because N2 is mandatory, fine. N1 is mandatory, fine. But N3 is not mandatory. So with 2 values also, your function can work.
Okay.
2 values also, your function can work. Make sense?
Okay. So that means since we did N3 is equal to 0, so it will be N1 and 2,
And your
and
voice is breaking
N3
again. I couldn't
will
hear
be
you.
by default which we put up.
Yeah,
Okay.
isn't it?
Uh,
Yes.
Sir, in this 35th line, we have written my addition 2 is num1 and num2 only, so it won't take N3 anyways.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to give. No, I'm only giving you 2 values.
Okay.
But with 2 values also, you're comfortable. You can solve the problem. You don't need third value in this case.
Okay. Okay.
Because I'm saying third value, take it as 0.
But
If
if
I
we would have, if we don't
given,
put
you can put,
value for 3.
you can do, you can give, you can decide not to give. Both are up to you.
Okay.
If you give, it will take. If you don't give, it has its own value, right?
Okay.
If you give, great. If you don't give also, it's fine, because I have my own value. It's like this. You
Okay.
have bread butter at your home, right? So if you go out to eat, okay, fine. You found it, so you ate it. But if you don't find anything, let's say all the restaurant got closed, no worries. You have bread butter at home. So 0 is like bread butter. If the restaurant is closed, no worries. I have my own bread and butter. I'll eat it. Problem comes for this one. This does not have its own food, so it has to eat outside.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Awesome. there's one more and we will stop today. Okay. Which is called as, see, now earlier we had positional and required, correct? So now for opposite of required is what?
Your voice is breaking in between.
Okay, yeah. So see, earlier I had positional and required, correct?
Yeah.
What is opposite of uh, required?
Not required. Like not compulsory.
So what did we do here? Default.
Yeah.
We gave default, right? Now,
Okay.
third thing that we want to do is this, the positional thing. Okay. So I'm going to say keyword arguments. Okay. This keyword argument is like not positional. Okay. So now let's take, I'm going to call it as 3 dot. Same example I'll take. Now see here. First case we said that positional. That means it has to be 1, 2, 3. Second case also we said positional, right? This will take first, this will take second. Now you can change the position. How? You can change position by saying equal to here. Okay. I want this num1 to go to n2, not n1. So I'll say n2 equal to, and I'll say n1 equal to. Now you see here, two things I have to notice here. One, I have said equal to in calling, where I'm calling, not where I'm defining. When you put equal to in defining, it becomes
Calling.
default. When I
Okay.
put equal to in function definition, it becomes default. But when I put equal to in calling, it becomes non-positional or keyword. Okay. And second thing is, now I have to know the exact name here. N1, N2. Now for these functions, like small functions that we are doing here, it's okay. We don't need to know the names. But when we do machine learning algorithms, function might have 10 arguments. Okay. And it is not possible for us to remember all the 10 arguments in the order. Right?
Yeah.
So there we can use the keyword argument. Keyword argument means now I have to use same name, okay? N1 equal to, N2 equal to, and this value can be anything. Now this will go to N2, irrespective of the position.
Okay.
Okay, N2 will take num1 and N12 will take num2. See, N3 is default, so that's why we are not given. But you can say N3 equal to 10. If I say N3 equal to 10, N3 will take 10, not 0.
Okay.
Left side has to match the variable name that we have declared there. Arguments you have to declare there.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So these are the three things that you have to learn. There's one more we'll talk about. Maybe we'll talk about in the evening. Okay. Too much. I want you to practice this, and then we'll function. There are a few more stuff to talk about.
Okay, sir.
So we will talk about later. So we saw function with arguments, without arguments. In arguments, we saw function with positional and required values, where you have to give all the values and in the same order. Then we saw a function with default arguments, where you don't have to give values to the default arguments. If you give, it will take what you give. Otherwise, it will take the default value. Third, we saw, okay, arguments, keyword arguments. Keyword arguments are the values that we give while calling, okay, with the argument's name, so that, okay, instead of doing left to right mapping, instead of doing positional mapping, it will not do the value mapping or keyword mapping.
Okay, sir.
It is mapping keyword, not the position.
Yeah.
Okay. So shall we stop here?
Yes, sir.